What up, y'all? Welcome back to the next episode of Don't Do That on Epic Fridays. Got ourselves an update with Robert Brooks, Marcy Correctional Facility. Got ourselves some information. Smoke of the F though is peanut butter jelly time. PPJ from House of Dank. That is the spot. That is to go get your smoke. That is the day. That is the place to go get your smoke. House of Dank. Alright, so far, the only thing I got for you today for myself is the Robert Brooks update. Because it's a big thing.
That's a big story though. Let's get straight to that one.
It's definitely something that yeah. So now the New York prison guards charged in the death of Robert Brooks. Obviously they pled guilty. Pled not guilty, I'm sorry. Wishful thinking that they would actually take some sort of responsibility for what they did.
Murder.
Now, as of now, some officers are released on bail. Kind of a slap in the face. But Onondaga County District Attorney William Fitzpatrick said it's very rare that bail isn't allowed in a case in New York. If bail was not set, it would go up to a higher court and bail would still be set. But the thing is though, is how bail works in New York. For murder, you get bail, but as of January of 2020, New York State bail reform eliminated bail for most misdemeanors in non-violent felonies, but you get bail for murder. I think is kind of ass backwards.
Backwards.
Yeah, for sure. So bail is still set for violent felonies, including murder, gun possession, and shooting and sex crimes, but not for misdemeanors. Judges must consider a person's ability to pay when setting bail, and judges must focus on conditions that ensure the person returns to court, and judges cannot consider their subjective view of a person's dangerousness when declining what releases the conditions to set. Now, Fitzpatrick had separated them into tiers of how they would be charged. For those who had beat Brooks, those who were there in a position of power and did nothing, and those who were there and still did nothing. But I still think those last two should kind of...
With the nurses?
Kind of, probably. Because they were two nurses, right? I believe, because they were not in a position of power, they were in a separate level of it. But still, realistically, those two...
Yeah, were they still in the room?
They were still in the room. But they didn't have any position of power, but...
I mean, I can understand them not being able to jump in between correctional officers.
But it was shown, but the thing is though, is what it is what they're saying basically is you still did absolutely nothing.
Yeah, so you still
said nothing,
in the
you
act.
did nothing, you were complicit, you were just as guilty as the next person.
If you didn't try to prevent it in any type of way, then you basically just
you're just as bad as the next.
Murdered,
yeah,
so
you literally stood there and watched this man choke to death on his own blood, basically. Because now the two screenshot, I got the names of the people as well as what they're being charged for. Now, Nicholas Anzalone is charged with second-degree murder, first-degree manslaughter, and first-degree offering a false instrument for filing. He was offered a $100,000 cash bail or a $250,000 bond. Now, David Kingsley was charged with second-degree murder and first-degree manslaughter, and then offered a $100 cash bail or $250 in bond. Anthony Farina was charged with second-degree murder and first-degree manslaughter, same bail and bond. And Christopher Walrath was charged with second-degree murder and first-degree manslaughter, same bail and bond. Matthew Gallagher was charged with second-degree murder, first-degree manslaughter, and second-degree gang assault. He was offered the same bond. Michael Mashaw was charged with second-degree manslaughter. He offered 50 and 100. Michael Fisher, 50 and 100 with manslaughter. David Walters, second-degree manslaughter, 50 to 100. Nicholas Gentile,
look at all these names,
was charged with tampering with evidence. He was released on his own recognizance
Recognizance. And these are all correctional facilities.
These are all people.
Correctional officers, police that did this.
No, they're correctional officers. They are guards at the actual
Also,
prison. They're prison guards. You are still in a position of authority to have law and order.
They're not actual police, but still.
But they are still. You are still in charge of law and order. You are still in a uniform.
You were not hired to kill.
You are not hired to kill people. You are not hired to beat people. You are allowed to defend yourself by all means, respectfully, of course. But you are not hired to beat somebody.
But if you read the description, it will tell you that Robert Brooks was handcuffed when all of this went down. So they weren't defending themselves.
No, not at all. This man was handcuffed.
He was handcuffed.
Now, a no-name defendant, however, will be charged next week with second-degree murder, first-degree manslaughter, second-degree gang assault, and first-degree offering a false instrument for file, which is basically it's a top-tier tampering with evidence, false statements. Basically, I think he could be the one that was either standing there watching it, and you kind of see when you were watching the video, you could kind of see his hand kind of going around the camera like this.
They're trying to cover it up.
Yep, and then you also had one that had the foot on the neck. So I feel like one of the two is that one that's already being charged with the gang thing, and then you have another one. Now, 3 Marcy employees entered a plea agreement with the Special Prosecutor's Office. Nothing will be released until the case progresses, which I think they're just, CI kind of situation. Now, the Special Prosecutor's Office is basically an outside office who does it. So their purpose is to avoid conflicts of interest by bringing in an outside legal professional to investigate and prosecute cases where the regular prosecutor might be biased due to political connections or other factors. If we do remember, the DA had stepped out of it because some of these people that are already being convicted are also in trouble for prior situations.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
So she and her office had to pull out of the investigation and hire somebody else to do internal stuff, so that makes sure that there's also a non-biased. I mean, it's like a whole rabble of situation that they protect themselves. Now, to add injury to insult, 2 current or former Marcy employees and 1 current or former Mohawk correctional officer are still under investigation. 2 Marcy employees had spilled the beans freely, but won't be charged because they freely came forth. They knew something was going on. Basically, some of the people they're trying to get ahead of it and be like, look, this is what was going on. This is what was going on. Basically, they're trying to save their butts. Which in all reality, okay, well, fine, but you don't get a job nowhere else when it comes to that. Now, I have the information of what he died. Now, according to the Onondaga County Medical Examiner, Brooks died of massive beating, suffering from external and internal injuries that led to his death. His internal organs were bruised. His hyoid bone, which is right here, this bone that connects everything together, right by the thyroid mesh and whatnot.
That was probably that choke slam that one guard did.
That too, and then you had the part where the other security guard was standing and put his foot all up on his neck and whatnot, which forces you to tear the thyroid. Yeah,
in 2024, it's 2025 now, but that was in 2024.
His thyroid cartilage, which is right around here, which is the same bone that connects everything, controls your breathing. But he was also choked repeatedly, causing severe brain damage. But ultimately, Fitzpatrick said Brooks died choking on his own blood. Now, Fitzpatrick also said from the moment Brooks arrived at 9:07 p.m., he was being beaten. Upon stepping off of the bus from Mohawk Correctional, Brooks was taken into what's the Arsenal, the area between bus and pickup, and the correctional facility. From here, he was beaten on the way to the infirmary, where all new inmates are supposed to be given a physical before being put into general population. And finally, Brooks' final and fatal beating was delivered in the infirmary and captured by the police sworn body cameras. So there was 2 other places before he even got to the infirmary to what we had already seen.
You know what I want to know now?
He was beaten to death.
Was the motivation? There's no way. There's no way that was just random.
No way.
What in the world was the motivation behind these men throwing their lives away, throwing their careers away? They had to know that, the truth comes to the light. So when you're a part of something like that, which is why 2 of the officers tried to get ahead of it and see why, when you're a part of something like that, you already knowing that the piper is going to come calling. So what motivated them to even do that stupid shit in the first place? But for all we know, the 2 that had spilled the beans could have been witnesses. Because you can get in trouble just as much as somebody, again, man, just for
not saying anything, just for witnessing something, and you'll just be like, I'm just gonna sit over here and act like nothing happened. You can't do that.
Here's an Easter egg to a point. So you're saying, and just listen to just let me cook here, Potts. So you're saying that if someone's constantly committing a crime like bullying or like agitating coworkers, and then someone in supervision or management is knowledgeable that this person is doing such thing, that makes them complicit in the act. That means that makes them a part of the bullshit, not just a spectator to the bullshit, because they're in power to stop it and they do nothing.
It's called sucking a motherfucking dick.
Sounds familiar. I'm just saying.
Yeah. It seems like you're really desperate for friends or something.
But on that note, it's an Easter egg, so we won't give them too much.
Never.
All right, so what we want to do, I'm glad I got the music already stopped. I want to move right along into ASAP Rocky.
Yeah.
ASAP Rocky has been acquitted of 2 assault charges that could have put him behind bars for 2 decades, at least. He was acquitted. I guess him and his former friend ASAP Relly had an altercation in 2021, 4 years ago.
Yeah,
2021.
I was going to say, wait a minute, I was in high school. What are you talking about?
It's the smoke. So 2021, they had an altercation. ASAP Relly says that ASAP Rocky shot him. And so there was more holes in ASAP Relly's story than, a nice cut of Swiss cheese. And so he has been acquitted, and you can watch the footage of ASAP Rocky getting acquitted and being notably grateful that he gets to spend the rest of his life with his wife Rihanna and his children. And I mean, of course, he was happy, so he goes to run and hug Rihanna and gives absolutely no fucks as he leans and dives over the little bar thing right there to hug
as
her.
He should.
As he should. We celebrate because there is
especially over lies.
Man, there is a quote that I will use from Charles Dutton in Menace to Society that I'm going to use on a song. Being a black man in America isn't easy. The hunt is on, and you're the prey. Facts. So if this man survives and actually, is not one of the people who are Bill Cosby, Diddy, people that are just their whole lives have been changed by stuff that happened to them in the courtroom, then you want to kind of celebrate
But
them
can we not
making
put
it out.
Cosby and Diddy in the same? Please don't.
Yeah.
Please don't. Please don't. Because please don't.
Yeah.
Like them are two different situations, babe. I'm sorry. Some of them people.
I just have to be devil's advocate because
Okay,
there are people out there. There are people out there that will say that Bill Cosby did not want people to drill on his land, and there were people that were very wealthy in power that took their revenge on Bill Cosby by posting these allegations against him. And there will also be people that will say on the other side of the coin that Diddy had the same issue with DeLeon or whatever that the foreign liquor company was, and then boom, all of a sudden there's a bunch of allegations. I'm just saying.
Let me get the copy of him beating the shit out of his girlfriend.
I know that part. I know that part, but I'm saying
that destroys that whole defense right there. He showed his full, nasty, disgusting ass character all up and down that video, all up and down that hallway.
And that's
so
true.
Please, let's not put Cosby. Because again,
I'm just saying for those people that like
people out there, they can go ahead and they can bite the devil's advocate. They can bite the devil's advocate all they want. They were two different situations.
All right, so hop down in the comments and continue that conversation. Because next up. We got something that's a little sad.
About Michael Jackson too. So there
next
you go.
Up, yep, there you go, and Michael Jackson too.
Right there, to all those parents to let their kids go out there knowing.
And R. Kelly.
Same with those parents
R.
too.
Kelly,
Y'all just as guilty as he is.
The parents that had something to do with R. Kelly, we'll say.
I'm sorry, you're
that's
guilty.
A whole different. Let's go down in the comments and talk about that. Okay, now moving right along to the next one. I was trying to say the last thing was early this morning, Voletta Wallace, mother of Christopher Notorious B.I.G. Wallace, passed away at age 78. And somewhere up there, Biggie is happy to see his mom. She passed away at 78 early this morning from natural causes. She was the executor of his estate, took over the estate when Biggie passed. And of course, she took care of that, passed it on to Tiana, his daughter, his younger son, Christopher. And now that estate is worth $160 million. Million.
Only 106. Only.
I mean, if he would have still been here, I'm sure it could have been more than that. But she did a great job bringing it from 10 million at the time of his passing to 160
million. Yeah, of
million.
course. Well, I mean, you're looking at back then when the housing market was much different than it is now, and for it to only have grown.
No, I mean it's not his estate like his house.
He's only worth 168.
160. Like altogether, because he passed away after he did his second album.
Oh, I know that.
So he didn't really. I mean, whatever has been accumulated, we would have to Google that and find out. What might sure be merchandising. I'm not sure what Puffy held on to from royalties. Who knows? We might have to do an update on that.
Yeah, because I'm kind of curious on why it shouldn't be more. It's still been decades.
Yeah, we would have to look into it. For sure. You got anything else?
No.
Oh, that's right. You did say that.
No, I don't.
All right.
Because there's a lot of information going on there.
All right. Well.
And if these men that are also pleading not guilty on these charges, I shit you not, I would be right there praising your riot. I'm going to tell you that much right now.
Hey, we don't want to say that we'll praise anyone's riot because we're not Donald Trump. I mean, never mind. You guys have a good one.
Peace out, guys. We'll see you next time on Don't Do That on Mad as Hell Monday. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and get notified. And you'll hit that little ding-dong little bell right there and get your little notification. So next time we'll see you Mad as Hell Monday. Pieces.